Welcome back to another video of Corpse Body Blood Drive. We're still busy with chapter 4. Naomi actually just saw her mom with some guy that's bald shaved hair. She was clearly very close to this man, cuddling up with him as they walked, pulling his arm into her bosom, and even sneaking a few kisses before the pair disappeared down an alleyway. So Naomi saw her mom with a random guy. Her voice had gone up a full octave as she said this. Clearly, something was indeed bothering her, but I had no way to know what it was in that moment, and could only take her at her word. And her word was, by all appearances, that everything was fine. She'd more or less closed herself off, outwardly pretending not to have seen a thing. But she's lying. As we drew closer to my house, we slowly began to see a strange light illuminating the area around it. And that area was different than what it looked like this morning. To say the least, there was now a bamboo wall surrounding my home, and most notably, we now had a hot spring. What words are there for situations like this? Fumoxed, maybe? Mishuda Springs. Immediately upon opening the front door, however, we were greeted by a sign reading, "This way to the natural springs." Huh? We entered the dressing room, and only to find Yuka naked. Yuka! Yuka was holding a toy goldfish, a towel, and a small beach ball in her hands. That's not the question I should have asked, but I was too much shocked for my words to come out the way I meant them to. And Yuka didn't seem to mind. She just smiled back at me, as joyful as I'd ever seen her. Grabbing one of each of our hands, she slid open the glass door in the back and led us into the Mishuda Springs proper that we'd just been hearing so much about. I actually want to make something like this now in my house. Who? There was another girl already soaking in the springs. A young girl around Yuka's age, sporting a stylish hairdo. Stop jiggling them. It was official. Nothing made any sense anymore. Naomi had grabbed hold of my shoulders as it keep me upright in case I'd suddenly decide to faint, which all things considered was probably a sensible precaution.
素敵でしょ？クオン先生、 健康にもいいし、天然の硫黄温泉は霊を遠ざけるのよ。お昼までに作っておいてねって頼んでおいたの。うちの工事事業部、優秀でしょ
う。何勝手にそんなことしてんの？
I pointed my finger at her in an accusatory manner, as was the style at the time.
あら、サトシおかえり。ナオミちゃんもいらっしゃい。お邪魔してます。
Suddenly, I found myself shuddering down to my core as my mom appeared before us wearing nothing but a bath towel.
母さん。
Her skin was bright pink, and she seemed to be in a very high spirits. By the looks of things, she was in the spring herself until just a moment before we arrived, when she'd evidently stepped out to the kitchen to get a very large number of beverages.
あのさ、飲み物取りに行くならちゃんと体拭いてから行けよ。びしょびしょじゃないか。
さあみんな飲んで。ゆかちママ最高。
You're the best, Yuka mom. Yuka and Satoshi were also in very high spirits. As was Miss Kuon.
ね、みんなでシャメ取りましょう。持田の湯、竣工記念よ。みんな並んで。せーチーズ。
Do they also say cheese there in Japan? Cheese. Jesus. Goodness, dude, chill.
チーズ。
Noam and I were forced into frame as well, like it or not. We were now a party to this madness. Our eyes were basically pen pricks at this point. None of this seemed even remotely real, and neither Naomi nor I had any idea how to react to it. I took the drink my mom handed me, and without even checking what it was, I chucked it down for a few gulps. I was thirstier than I thought, apparently.
なんだこれ？何味だ？
I would also be thirsty, don't worry. There was a white, thick liquid inside the milk bottle I was given. It had a faint tint to it when viewed under the right light. But like the flavor, I couldn't quite identify it.
この色、フルーツ牛乳か？
Was this flavored milk? I turned the bottle to read the label. Apparently, it was Niwa flavored.
先生、この度はこんなに素敵な温泉を作っていただきありがとうございます。もういつでも入りに来てくださいね。あ、これうちの鍵です。
What?
あら、ありがとうございます、お母様。
母さん！
Here's a spare key to our house, just like that?
でも本当にいいんですか？もちろん、持田の湯を作ってくださったのは先生なんですから、年間フリーパスですわ。
1 year free pass.
母さん！
Have some respect, dude. It's your elder, it's your mom. That night, I found myself tossing, I can imagine, and turning in my futon. I just couldn't get sleep for the life of me, so I tossed again. You know what I'm saying? The covers aside and get up.
風呂入ろう。
Just a tip. Just had been craziest day I could recall in this world anyway. After all, the commotion had died down and our many guests had departed. Dad had come home and, predictably, was in the springs right away with a carafe of his favorite sake. I had a hard time satisfying Miss Kuan's arbitrary actions, not to mention my family's utter willingness to accept them. But in the end, I had to admit the hot springs was pretty nice. The rest of my family was all still sleepy, so the house was dead silent. I took off my clothes in the dressing room and slid open the glass door, and there, sitting in the edge of the spring, completely uncovered, was Miss Kuan. Dude, how is she that skinny? I mean, I love skinny girls, but dude, you saw her ribs, man. Ugh, that is too skinny, man. Is she starving? My face instantly turned bright red. She was fairly attractive woman, after all, so being alone with her like this was kind of exciting. Though looking at her now, entirely exposed as she was, revealed to me that this shapely woman wasn't quite as shapely as I assumed. Yeah, push-up bras does a wonder, dude. Her body was abnormally, worryingly thin. Yeah, that's what I said. She was the definition of gaunt, looking every bit the part of an infirmed, elderly woman from the neck down. And I could have sworn I caught a slight glint from the corners of her eyes. She didn't seem to notice me, so I was half tempted to slide the door closed and pretend none of this had ever happened. But no, I had to come clean.
先生。
あら、サトシくん。
Despite the fact that I was much younger man and her student no less, she made absolutely no effort to hide her nakedness. In fact, she actually seemed a little excited to be in this way.
こんな時間になんでうちの風呂に入ってるんです？
ごめんね、起こしちゃったかな。
いえ、そんなことはじゃなくて。ナオミはどうしてるんですか？
うちでぐっすり眠ってたわ。今日もお家に連絡を入れたら、中島さんのお母さん少し落ち着かれていたみたい。
よかった。
I was legitimately relieved, but I was also having trouble concentrating on the conversation. It looked every ounce of focus I had to avert my eyes from the things I knew I shouldn't be staring at.
先生、隠してよ。
ん？あ、そっか。ごめんね。
She immediately got up from the spot and drank herself in the water up to the neck. Due to its mineral content, this was a very effective means of at least practically absorbing her body.
ねえ、サトシくんこそそんな格好で寒くない？早くお湯に浸かりなよ。
うわっ！
I panicked at the realization that I too was completely naked right now. And she said I'm cold, so it's most probably small, that's why. I covered myself with my hands and could feel the blood rushing to my face, turning me what I was quite certain must have been an incredible shade of red. Recovering as best as I could from the embarrassment, I stepped into the water, choosing my spot carefully so as to put some distance between myself and Miss Kuan.
先生、今泣いてた？なんかそんな気がしてさ。気のせいならいいんだけど。
ね。時間が止まったらいいのになって思って。
ねえ先生、どうしてこんなことを？ SP の警護とか温泉とか、なんか俺の常識を超えててさ、気になりだしたら全然眠れなくなって。
知りたいのは理由かな？それとも私の素性？
えーっと
Both would be nice, I thought.
理由はね、守りたいから。それで
守るって何から？
そういえば私の素性ってクラスのみんなには話していなかったっけ？
ええ、まあ。
私ね、以前はとある企業の会社役員だったんだけど、会長になった後、どうしても諦めきれなかった昔からの夢だった教師になったの。
企業の会長だからこんなに資金力があるのか。あの飲み物も、それじゃあ先生の会社の庭味？庭味って？
ええ、うちの商品よ。ゆかちゃんみたいに牛乳かヨーグルトかフルーツ牛乳かコーヒー牛乳か迷っちゃう子が全部の味を楽しめるようにって作ったの。
はあ、なるほど。
ね、これで悩みも解決でしょ？
先生の考え方って理にかなってて正しいのかもしれないけど、発想が前のめりすぎだよな。
I scratched my head. Which one?
どうしたの？
ああ、いや、カレーのことを思い出してました。
カレー？
She seemed genuinely confused. I guess to her, the idea of feeding me pre-chewed curry was just another stroke of brilliance, maybe. Not at all something that might keep a poor high school boy like myself up at night.
それにしても、クオン先生って一体いくつなんだ？
I really wanted to know, but I couldn't bring myself to ask something so rude of a lady, even if I'm sure she wouldn't have minded. The more I thought about it, though, the more intrigued I was by the enigma. I began shiftily turning my gaze towards her in short intervals, examining her body for clues. Her face had the texture and hoe of a woman in her early 20s, but her body was another story. All the skin was as smooth and beautifully toned as her face, but there was little behind it, ribs fully exposed in every detail. Even down towards the abdomen, I could make out round indentations where her internal organs were practically jetting out. There was no muscle, no fat, just skin and bones, literally. Maybe she has AIDS, bro. Her proportions just didn't match up with one another. She was like a construct built out of spare parts. I felt almost as if this person soaking before me weren't even entirely human. Miss Quinn suddenly let out a mischievous giggle. Crap. Did she catch me staring?
何ですか？
私ね、君たちの副担任になった初日のこと忘れられないの。
My memory there was obviously a little different from hers. Kuoniwa wasn't even a part of it. The TA who showed up that day in my mind was and always will be Miss Yui. I could still vividly remember her typing or tripping on the step up to the teacher's desk and tearing her skirt as she had to hold the rear of it together with a safety pin for the entire day. And even though we were now living in a different reality, a world without Miss Yui, Suzumoto or Morishige, we had no memories of all of the alternate events from this experience. What?
はい。
サトシ君大好きよ。
My mind went completely blank. My eyes were swimming in my head, and I couldn't even see straight from the heat of the water. I had to have misunderstood her.
何がですか？
Miss Kuan smiled widely, and her cheeks turned rosy red. But only for a split second. Then she was back to looking wistful again. Pangs of undue guilt and dread began to well up inside of me. I knew what next word out of her mouth was going to be. Miss Kuan was almost like a mass of innocence as she spoke that single word. Her eyes locked onto mine and froze them solid. I couldn't look away.
やだな、冗談はやめてくださいよ。風呂上がったらちゃんと自分の家に帰ってくださいね。あと近いです。
I was dumbfounded. I immediately and very quickly got out of the bath and headed for the dressing room. This was all just too weird. I looked back at Miss Kuan, and unsurprisingly, she seemed almost deflated. She was looking down at the water in a state of utter dejection. Goodness. I turned to face her, still feeling a strange mix of guilt and awkwardness, but allowing the guilt to dominate for a moment.
先生。
冗談じゃないのに。
After saying this, she closed her eyes and turned bright red, and I was pretty sure it wasn't from the heat, despite her physique. She seemed like a schoolgirl in that moment. I began to waver in my convictions. I felt like I had to justify not returning her sentiment.
だって俺、先生のこと何も知らないし。
She twitched a little at this. I had gone too far. Was I supposed to know more about her in this reality than I actually did? After the longest few seconds in recent memory, her head dropped, and a look of an absolute sadness washed over her face. I'd never seen her like this before.
しまった。
I didn't mean to hurt her. She had to have known that. But what she didn't know, and what I couldn't really explain, was that I only have been a part of this reality for a very, very short time now. So I genuinely didn't know anything about her. I tried to think of a way to convey this to her, but my mind kept drawing blanks. It was all just too absurd, too fantastical, too implausible.
先生、
ううんいいの。びっくりさせてごめんね。
She slowly turned her back to me. Part of me was relieved by her acceptance, I guess, but another part of me was still absolutely riddled with guilt. There was a moment of silence, and then Miss Kuhn White, waterproof wristwatch, broke it a sudden loud beep. All the sadness in her expression gave way to surprise as the numerals on the watch display, which I realize now hadn't changed this whole time, began counting down. I felt almost as if I'd been saved by the bell, so to speak, and forced a small laugh, hoping that this interruption might help move the topics away from me.
先生、その時計何？なんか測ってるの？
She smiled.
研究よ。カウントは止まっていたんだけれど、また動き出したわ。
カウント？研究って、ああ、会社の？
そう。
There was something about this smile of hers that was strangely haunting. It would come to leave a lasting impression on me.
さて、それじゃあ私帰るね。今日はサボっちゃったけど、明日は学校行くから、また明日ね。
先生。なんか、先生のおかげで、ナオミもユカも、すごく元気になってます。
よかった。
多分、俺も、ヨシキも篠崎も、ありがとうございます。
Thank you for healing my friend's wounds in the strange new world. Is what I was trying to convey, and somewhere deep down, I think the sentiment got through.
嬉しい。そう言ってもらえて。私こそありがとう、サトシくん。
With that, she slowly and meticulously warded her way to the edge of the spring.
しゃ。
Oopsie daisy. At which point she stepped out of the water directly in front of me.
だから、隠してくださいってば。
やだ、ごめん。
Oh, dude. Wow, okay, so we're just back here. I'm gonna stop for you, Beach. Stupid ghost. Okay, now we're just gonna use our crowbar of doom.
こっちよ、岸沼くん。
待てよ、一人で行くんじゃねえ。
Who lit that candle?
もう少しだよ、みんな。
おい、本当にここで合ってんのかよ。
間違いないわ。ほら、お守りが反応してるもの。
ここは更衣室か。
シャワーにロッカー。相変わらず気味の悪いところだぜ。
I wonder if Ayumi is currently like with these rituals ending the world instead of saving it.
特にロッカーとか、あんなもん絶対開けたくねえけどな。
Feel like we should save.
Hey! いや、今なんか音がしなかったか。
やだ、脅かすのやめてよ。
悪い。
What the heck? Oh, there it is.
プールか。嫌な場所だな。
私はよく覚えていないけど、一度溺れたんだっけ？
ああ、あんなのは二度とごめんだ。もう勘弁しろよ。
私だって近寄りたくないけど。
おい、待てよ。一人で行くなって。
Yeah, she keeps going off by herself, man. Come back here.
石が水の中を示してる。
マジかよ。なんでそんなことわかんだよ。
だってほら、石を水面の方に出すと揺れが大きくなるの。
けどよ、こんな汚い水の中に入るのは無理だろ。
うん。
The gap is too wide to jump. There's got to be something we can do to cross, though. Well, that's something. I wonder if the ski will work. Yes, it fits. The sound of success.
プールの水が抜けたみたいだ。行ってみるか。
あれ？
なんだこりゃ。
The pool water wasn't drained. Instead, it was frozen.
すごい。でも、どうしてこんな。
待てって言ってんだろ。たくお前は。
Go faster, bro. What are you doing?
のおい、勝手に進む。なんだ、どうした？
見て。
The center of the frozen pool was a lit up large pink mass, visible beneath the surrounding ice. It was impossible to tell exactly what mass was. However, through the cloudiness of the frozen, modified water.
何これ？
Dude, it can be an octopus, actually.
わかんねえよ。
A jellyfish? Octopus, yeah?
なわけねえか。
A super large one.
お守りはここを指しているわ。ほら。
嫌な予感がするぜ。逃げろ、白滝。
Enter the white screen of doom. Can't they swim, dude?
潮だけ泳げるか。
足がつかないよ。
Oh no. Why does the water anyway have to be red? Come on.
言ってる場合か。早くこっちに来い。どうした。
何か触った。何かいるよ、水の中に。
よし、大丈夫だから俺の肩につかまれ。いいか、暴れるなよ。無理にしがみついたら二人とも溺れちまうからな。ったく、天神症で溺れた教訓から戻って泳ぎの練習しといてよかったぜ。
Why does it look like he's walking?
なんだ、いくら泳いでも近づいてる気がしねえ。
Bursting from the very center of the pool, there were now large pink tentacles of flesh flailing about, each one stained liberally with blood.
悪い夢かよ。
Kishinuma began to tremble at the sight of the bizarre monstrosity, though it probably had more to do with the fact that we were both now being pulled towards the center of the pool by a sudden water current.
冗談じゃねえ。
I'm stuck on something. I can't move. There we go. What the?
白だけ。くそ、てめえ離せ。
Dude, you would pass out if you get flung that fast, dude. Honestly. Even if it's just like up and down the whole time. For a moment, all hope seemed lost. Then, all at once, there was a flash of a brief shing and an unmistakable quench of metal sling through the meat, and the octopus arm was severed. An piercing sound echoed through the entire fence-in area, and the whole atmosphere suddenly changed. The water reverted to its normal muddy color, with the light rain and a windy subtly etching their usual patterns across the muck.
全然平気じゃねえだろが。
I was clearly not fine, but Kishinuma's nervous laugh had a certain reassuring quality to it.
本当にね。
At the poolside stood a strangely dressed girl, brandishing an enormous scythe.
全くもって平気じゃなかったわよ。危ない目にばかり進んで会いに行きやがって。少しは反省してほしいものだわ。
お前、
あなたは？はじめまして、篠崎あゆみ。私は水木まがり、マルトゥバの幹部よ。よかったわね、助かって。あなたが助けてくれたの？ありがとう。マルトゥバって秘密結社のマルトゥバの墓よね。本当にあったんだ。それであなたは何者なの？なんで知ってるのよ。秘密なのに。
ああ、篠崎は都市伝説とかそういうのに詳しいからよ。
Magari glared at Kishinuma for a moment with an ice-cold expression.
私のおっぱいもんだてめえはミストの次に殺すからな。
何言ってんだお前、もんでねえだろ。違うからな、篠崎。じゃなくてよ、しがみついたのは悪かったが、こいつを守るためにどうしてもここに来る必要があったんだよ。
もう守る必要もないわ、こんなやつ。
あ？なんでお前にそんなこと言われなきゃなんねんだよ。
Magari ignored Kishinuma's question completely and turned her attention to me.
あんた、ブックオブシャドウズ手に入れられなかったんだって。あんたなら涅槃を本に戻せるって聞いたから陰で助けてやってたのに。
そうなのか。
This revelation seemed to instantly calm Kishinuma's rage.
だってあれは騙されたから。本を得られなかった以上あんたは無価値。結果が全てよ。無駄な努力だったわ。これが六鬼門の結晶ね。青だから慈悲のセフィラか。何者って私に聞いたよね。ええ。じゃあ改めてはじめまして。あんたの敵よ。
I'm your enemy. Why would an enemy save your life then? Magari took the glowing stone and attached it to her necklace.
おい！
ヤゴウラのミストに従うのなら死を覚悟することね。これはもらっていくわ。あちこちにある赤い文字を見ているだろ。お前たちが触れている呪いは想像を絶する。それ以上涅槃を刺激するな。
呪い？何言ってんだお前。お願い、返
して
それ。あの野郎。なん
てこと。どうしよ
う。どのみちあいつをとっ捕まえねえ限り帰れねえんだ。 篠崎は屋根のあるところで待ってろ。
待ってよ、岸沼くん、私も行く。
Why does he want to split up? I don't get it. Doesn't make sense.
岸沼くん、もうどこに行ったの？
Where did he go? Well, I know I'm saving.
愛子さんもミストさんも見当たらないし。あの扉すごく怖い。
Oh my goodness. It was enormous. Man, I'd seen before me passing out. When I was arrived here in this new heavenly host. The giant who stood before me wore a steel helmet and was spattered with blood all over his body. Swung a giant axe at me. The blade alone is easily the size of a human body. Yeah? Why are you gay? I dodged with a swing, but the floor of the school were struck. Utterly destroyed on impact. If that hit me, there'd be no chance of survival. Run away, survive the attack for 60 seconds. $60 seconds. No problem. So, oh my goodness, it hit me. I swear it was far enough away, dude. Like, that was weird. Can't believe you survived a hit.
どうなってるの？岸沼くん、どこにいるの？もうやだ。
It was Misuto.
あ、頑張ってるな。
もうやだ。友達ともはぐれたし、早く帰りたい。
たく、本当おめえはメンタルクソ弱だな。
そんな言い方しなくったっていいじゃない。
はいはい。残りはあと2本だろ。柱の封印を解くたびに涅槃のエネルギーが震撼するのがわかるぞ。歩みが頑張ってるのが手に取るようにわかる。
A sudden and ambiguously genuine complaint, like from Misuto. A compliment, sorry. Of all people, reassured me than it probably should have. I began to get misty-eyed.
だけど一つ マガリという女の子に取られてしまいました。
水木まがりか。やつも当てが外れて泡を食ってやがるな。そう心配しなくても、俺たちと目的が同じなら残りの結晶欲しさにまた現れる。その時に取り戻せばいい。
はい。
ああ、だからそのまま進めろ。俺は今この学校の中心部にいるようだ。こっちはこっちでもう少し調べてみる。俺を信じろ。必ず出会える。一緒にここを出よう。
うん。頑張ります。
いい子だ。
Except Misuto was actually talking to me from back home. He was standing on top of a jungle gym during the entire conversation. To be exact, he was letting me do the dirty work while he used the everlasting stones to jump back to the real world on his own. There was no way I could have known that. I'd resolved just another soldier onward and unlock the remaining pillars, truly believing that Misuto would swoop in and save me in the end.
一緒に現世に戻ろうな、歩み。
As he stared intently at the black sphere in the sky, a creepy smile spread across Misuto's lips. And in his hand, he held the thick black hard-bound tome that bore a striking resemblance to the Book of Shadows.
こんなとこでじいさんの写本が役に立つとはな。ブックオブシャドウズ。ねえなら、俺が作ってやる。
Yeah, it kind of felt like the ending of chapter 4, doesn't it? Goodness. So more stuff unlocked makes sense, and we'll obviously save. So we'll continue on with chapter 5 in the next episode, guys. But yeah, it's kind of like a pretty interesting story so far. I think Ayumi is like causing the world to die. And this guy is just like chilling on a jungle gym with the Book of Shadows, which Ayumi is also looking for. But yeah, it's interesting story so far. I don't know how many chapters there is. I think there might be like 10-ish, I think. I'm not too sure. But we are roughly halfway with the game right now, so yeah. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, smash that like, subscribe if you're new. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!